Okay, a little bit of last minute indecision. I swapped out my Mir Sire for the Thundering Pteranodon or whatever that green creature with Phyrexian mana is. Okay, he's playing first. We're on the draw. We have 2 removal spells, equipment to get out there. I would like to have a creature, obviously, but we only have, 11 in the deck or whatever at this point, and I would also like in this deck to get the mana, deal with his early threats. That's the one. Not Pteranodon, but Tanodon. Anyway, brought him in and decided that a little bit more beef, another tangible threat would be good, and at this point especially good since we have no other creatures. And right now his board state is not any real threat. We'll see if he gets a Porcelain Legionnaire or something. Okay, Screeching Silklaw. Still not too scared of that. So I draw even more removal. It would be nice if we could get that Flare Husk attached to something before I turn to slag it. And the more time I buy, he's down to 3 cards. Plus we know he has a swamp. 3 unknowns in hand. And while I don't think the Screeching Silklaw is a true threat, we don't have a lot of answers to flight. So I would say if he does not present another threat on his turn, that's what Grim Affliction will take care of. But I'm willing to wait and see. Okay, so there is a little bit more of a threat, but that will probably be Parasitic Implant will be the answer for that one. Which means in the process I will take a little bit of damage. But again, that's probably his biggest threat. He took 4 damage himself just to play that. And I'm almost to the point where I can turn to slag something, and where I can get out my Barrage Ogre, get out my Thundering Tanodon. So I have some threats coming online. Now with this, I think I'm going to put out the Barrage Ogre, just because he may equip the Flare Husk to try to get him outside of reach, and then I can turn to slag to do some double duty. Allow him to kill his own Flare Husk for me. That's what we're hoping. Nope, that's not what we got. So instead we get this. We're getting to a dangerous point. And here, probably Volt Charge and turn to Slag next turn. Because I'd like to be able to kill the Flare Husk as well. We will see whether that works out. Both lose a card. But at this point, I don't really want to give up the 4 life to put my guy out, so I'm not losing that much. Potentially, he's going to equip. Well, even if he doesn't, we're now back to square one. If I can get a blue, I'll be able to battle that Tumble Magnet rather well. It's a little concerning that with 4 islands, not one has shown up. And now we're really at the point where it's pretty much game over. Yep. Anything short of Carnifex Demon and showing him that I have blue would not help me at this point. There come several answers. Okay. So what we know about him, from what we know about him, we're probably too low on creatures. I don't know what I'd put in instead. You know, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Would you like to play first? Yes. Do I wish I had 2 land? Yes. Okay. That's about as good as this deck is going to give me, probably. I have the mana to get out the Anatomist, and then we'll just hope that he doesn't have the answer to kill it. Good. And I have the black I need as well for my Mortis Dogs. I'll get a second red, I'll be able to cast everything in my hand. It's nice to get the Gremlin Mine so I can be doing something while I'm putting -1/-1 counters on creatures. He pretty much has to use the Quarter Shield activation if he wants to save that guy for any amount of time. Wait for his turn. Tap him down a couple times. At this point, probably just kill the Gust Skimmer. Probably best if I'm patient with it. Although, giving him time to get an answer is not necessary. And if he puts out an artifact that's a little bit more of a threat. Okay. So there he answers that. But right now the Quarter Shield is stuck on his guy or he dies. He's used up one of his big removal spells. And I have a pretty mean attacker coming out who might well be attacking into an open board, or as close to an open board as I want to make it, since I have Gremlin Mine and Turn to Slag as some answers. Here, I would like to kill the Serum Raker. Don't really want to trade for it, so I think I'm going to give him a turn, which is not always the wisest move. Actually is kind of fortunate, because the Soul Eater was going to kill me, or at least hurt me severely. And he killed it himself, and now when I turn to slag it, he's going to be real pissed. So this was kind of best case scenario, and why I wanted to wait to play that. Problem being that, of course, I can't play it now either. have a big bad answer coming on board. I could attack and then let off one to kill. Why don't we do that? See if he takes the bait. If he is willing to lose his only card, I'm willing to lose my only card. And he didn't take the bait because he wants to keep his guy alive. And that's why you sometimes have to take that chance to attack. Because I know that I don't want to lose my card, but he doesn't know that. Okay, now here, I think it's worth it to destroy that guy. And at this point, I think I'm willing to lose my Precursor Golem to take out his card, and let's see what he's pitching. And that was enough to get him to call it. Good. So now we go into game 3. Still no real significant changes that I want to make. I really wouldn't mind getting that Despise in. Maybe for one of the turn to Slags. I know he has at least 2 equipment though, so I'll probably keep the turn to Slags. I'll just submit and go for one more. It's always a fight deciding which cards to keep, which cards to lose. This is a keepable hand, not a great hand. Unfortunately, I cannot retrieve my Nexus with the Plunger. He had to mulligan twice, and he's playing first. So he's going to be short on cards. So even though it's not a great hand and it's starting a little slow, I will be assisted by the fact that that survives. Here I could have played the Nexus first, and maybe I should have, because I probably would be attacking into an open board, and it doesn't take that long to get 10 poison, but oddly it's looking as if I have an infect theme here, and I really didn't intend to. So it's the aggro play versus the passive play. Do I pump him up? I don't think I do. Save it back. Grim Affliction. Whatever threat he puts out. Probably note Chromaflexion, whatever threat he puts out. But, as it turns out, it worked out anyway. That is exactly what I want to use. Scrap melter on. And shifts board state in my favor. Turn to slag as a helper. Especially now that he has two things out there. Things are getting better all the time. And that's just too good. You know, I know it might be greedy or obscene or something, but to blow up two of his equipment, clear the board, yeah. At that point, he just calls it. Okay, so win one for the sealed deck. Not overly impressive, but a lot of removal, a lot of ways to deal with things. And I'll see you whenever round 2 gets here. These damn events take forever. And just looking at this, there are a lot of people still to play, so it might be a while. But I'll be back for round 2, and I hope you will as well.